Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Kate, and I do a lot of fantasy, cosplay, crafting related content here, but today I'm going to be talking about something that I had never done before until last year, and that is LARPing. I know, I'm as shocked as you are. As someone who attends so many Ren fairs and does a lot of fantasy content, I had never done a LARP before, and there's a good reason for that, and it was because I was scared. I was terrified. The thought of LARPing, the whole concept in general, was very intimidating to me because the thought of making a character, staying in character, and combat just felt like a nightmare for me. I can barely talk to this camera without stuttering, so the thought of improvising for 4 days straight is my nightmare.
But that all changed when Berkshire reached out to me and invited me to their official Hobbit-themed LARP, the Brandywine Festival.
If you couldn't tell with my content that I post online, I grew up with the Lord of the Ring and Hobbit movies. It really was my first introduction into the fantasy realm, and it made me fall in love with fantasy. So to be able to be invited to an event and asked, do you want to be a Hobbit for 4 days with hundreds of people? How could I turn that down? Personally, I feel like this LARP is perfect for any beginner because if you truly want to embody the spirit of a Hobbit, all you have to do is show up. You want to eat, drink, and be merry with your friends, sit around a fire, and just enjoy each other's company. On the other hand, there was something for everyone at this LARP. Whether you wanted to do more hands-on activities, there were so many storylines happening all at once in the background. It was a really big choose-your-own-adventure type of LARP, and there was so much to do.
The driving story behind this LARP is a simple one. It centers around all the hobbits of Middle-earth traveling across the Shire to the Brandywine Festival to spend a few days camping, eating, trading, and most importantly, competing in the 4 farthing games. The story of this LARP is set just after the time Frodo leaves the Shire, so during the LARP there are a few strange things that start to happen that we hobbits chose to investigate. This event was run by Berkshire and Middle-earth Enterprises. Berkshire is a medieval clothing company who also runs the largest LARP in the world over in Germany called Conquest.
So I attended this LARP as Honeyburrow. I was a traveling beekeeper. My goal was to collect as many flowers as I could to take back to my bees to see which one they liked the most. I brought a bunch of honey to pass around to all my Hobbit friends. That was my little favor that I brought. And I traveled to the festival with my partner Bugsy, who of course is a bug-loving Hobbit. He spent the entire time looking for new bugs, searching around. It got to the point where he was sending off Hobbits on a little quest to bring him back a bug that he has never seen before. It had to be alive, it couldn't be a dead bug, and he would give them in-game coins. So that was a really cute thing that we started doing.
One of my favorites. Quest completed.
I got a what?
That's for you.
My bug's gonna escape.
Oh, let me see. Oh! You witnessed it. The green grasshopper. You there have also completed 1 quest. There you are, coin for a bug. Of course. Keep it up. I love bugs.
So I was invited to this LARP to be a part of the media team to help capture this event in a content creator's eyes. With most LARPs, you cannot have your phone out, you cannot be filming. I, thankfully for this one, had a media badge whenever I felt uncomfortable to have my camera out, but for the most part, I did a pretty good job at hiding my camera because I didn't want to break the immersion for myself or for any players. I had my phone hidden in this little journal, and I would carry it around like this with me, and whenever I wanted to film something, I would flip this tab over, and my camera screen was right here. So I actually hollowed out this journal for this reason, and I was able to stick my phone in perfectly right here. And whenever I wanted to stop filming really quickly, I would just flip this little tab over, and you wouldn't know a camera was in it.
The festival is held on the beautiful farmlands of Kentucky, and it truly looked just like the Shire. This event runs for 4 days, and players had the option to come a day early so that you can set up your tents and ease yourself in before the games begin. There are also pre-event workshops like dancing, cooking, and if you're new to LARP, there's a role-playing workshop for beginners. And in my expert opinion, you don't want to miss the eve of the Shire party and the lighting of the bonfire. We joined up with our good friends Kiki, Nick, and Christian and spent our day 0 prepping for our stay in the Shire. Since we all flew in, we didn't have many groceries, so after waiting for over an hour for an Uber, we spent our last few moments of the real world at Walmart. You would think it would be easier getting an Uber back to the countryside, but we ended up waiting for over 2 hours and having our Uber canceled on us multiple times. We spotted more Hobbit folk packing up their own groceries in the car, and we asked them for a ride to the Shire, and it turned out they had plenty of room for us between 2 cars. It had rained all day the day before, so I spent some time hanging up some wet clothes and capes that got wet in the rain, and then I spent some time decorating my own tent. After seeing everyone's elaborate setups last year, this year me and my partner have decided that we're going to be driving down so that we can have a better tent setup. Day 1 meant that LARP has officially started, and as someone who has never done LARP before, I was nervous about getting into character. However, this LARP started with all of us hobbits taking a hike into the Shire and arriving at the festival. This time walking through the woods was a great way for me to ease myself into character and start interacting with other players. Since the time Frodo left the Shire, strange things have started happening about including strange folk venturing closer to the Shire. We spotted some ruffians along the way as we hiked to the festival, but we were swift on our feet and hightailed it out of there. Crested over our final hill, we saw the festival in the distance and stopped to take in the views, and to take in a few sips of homemade mead.
Absolutely. Well, they hate citrus.
Absolutely. Ho, 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 to the bottle I go, to heal my heart and drown my woe. Rain may fall and wind may blow, many miles there still to go, but under a tall tree I will lie and watch the clouds go sailing by.
What a wonderful song! Hey!
We spent the rest of the day lounging under the festival tree and working on our individual hobbies, and just really enjoying each other's company.
And welcome to the Brandywine Festival! Explain to me, what is the quest with the spoons?
Right, so basically, right, random people just spread out in the area, they've got these wooden spoons. You have to have them on your person, they have to be exposed. The goal is to borrow as many as you can right before Saturday morning. So if you keep it out, you can do what's called, they call it spurtling them? Oh, because it's burgling and spoons, spurgling.
One of my favorite things about this LARP was that you would never go hungry. There was always a hobbit around the corner making something on a grill or making some homemade chili in a pot. I was thankful enough to be next to our neighbors with this fellow hobbit who was always cooking.
You think that was a fire?
Yes, it got a little.
That's okay. That's okay.
It got a little overdone on the bottom, but.
Honey sticks.
No.
So it's probably nothing compared to what you guys have.
I can do things with this.
Cool.
Thank
Cool.
you.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the chili.
Thank you.
Yes, honey sticks.
To end day 1, we walked to the lantern parade. The lantern parade led straight into the night market. The night market was a player-ran event where any hobbit could bring anything to trade or sell for in-game coin. There were hobbits trading homemade pottery, art, mead, and so much more. Along with things to trade, many hobbits put out games to play, and there were a few talented musicians as well. Bugsy even found a few things to trade for his bugs.
So the night market was held every single evening during the LARP, and I brought in a few of my chainmail pieces and other trinkets to trade. I got this shirt right here. I absolutely adored the sleeves. It opens like this, and it has like a few cool cutout pieces. And then I got this shirt that I'm wearing today with this beautiful embroidery on it. And I wore both of these pieces at the LARP. So it was really cool to have like a few extra garb pieces to wear while I was there. I got these cute little saucer dishes that I could use for like jewelry. I got this really gorgeous art print I will show you right here. I Do Declare was also at this Hobbit LARP and they run an amazing clothing line. I adore every single piece that they come out with. But for a hobby, they do pottery and they brought amazing pieces of their pottery to this LARP to trade, and I was grateful enough to be able to snag this amazing dragon, little tiny dragon mug that I use so much. It has become a little favorite in my collection. But the green inside was beautiful, and I traded, I think, 2 mismatched chainmail earring pieces for this mug.
Hold up here. Do you know how we work here? No. All right, so this right here is Goose. I'm Tyke from the East Farthing platform. So we're willing to trade our alcohol for one of 6 things: a joke, a riddle, a story, a dance, a song, or a trinket.
Trinket is easy. However, I just am suddenly unable to sing a song that I know.
More Farthing's games now posted on the main stage.
Day 2 of the camp was awoken by the sweet smell of someone's homemade pie and the ringing of a bell to announce the 4 farthing games were about to begin. In the Lord of the Rings, farthings are the 4 main regions that make up the Shire. You have the North, South, East, and West farthing, and each farthing games is basically like the Hobbit Olympics, where each farthing competes against each other to see who can get the most points. Day 2 is the day that multiple storylines started to happen all at once, and the reality of any LARP is you can't do everything, but that is also the beauty of choosing your own adventure within the LARP. Word spread that a group of hobbits hiking over the hills near the festival came across a dwarf whose wares were stolen by nearby ruffians, most likely the same ones we spotted the other day. Seeing that his cart needed repairs, the hobbits made it their mission to help him get back down the hill.
You can lift the whole... Oh, there we go. There we go.
I can take that corner. I hear something! Down our casement, hope we ran.
As long as it stays off of the rocks, like the one... We're almost there, Wheel. Just hold a second.
This was also the first time that the hobbits learned that there was rangers also in the woods.
That were scampering through the woods.
Those must be the rangers I've been hearing about.
They've been kidnapping
individuals.
Big people as well. Ooh. They went and chased off the ruffians.
The rangers?
They were indeed rangers. They looked like rangers, of course. Don't you know what a ranger looks like?
In the Shire!
Look like the other.
Oh, you guys haven't been outside the Shire very often, have you?
Of course not. This is where we are!
A completely different group ventured out into the nearby woods to investigate the rumors that there was a giant spider lurking close to the festival.
A spider big enough to grab a big folk.
It's the biggest spider I've ever seen.
Is it like that big?
No!
I think it's a tag.
It's somewhere!
While this investigation was happening, I stuck around the festival grounds and helped my fellow hobbits string up some decoration in preparation for the giant party that was going to be hosted. However, it was during this time that we discovered that maybe the rumors of the spider wasn't just gossip after all. A group of hobbits were seen wheeling a man on a cart through the festival down to the local healer, and I later discovered that he was discovered up on the hills encased in what looked like spider webs.
Do come quick, please. Yes. Oh, good, there's a number here. We have more. I just have several hands. Yes.
strong
At least
hobbits.
one on each side. And then it's a bit of a walk.
Somebody run to the big tent.
Once the hobbits got the man to safety, they gathered flowers and herbs that would be essential to get him out of the web safely and combat any poison. Later that night, the hobbits learned that the man they saved was a ranger, and his friends were waiting in the nearby woods for him.
And we found one of your ranger folk earlier, and he had been injured. Yes.
Amen.
With the discovery of a real spider in the woods, myself and many other brave hobbits ventured out into the woods, wanting to see it for ourselves. The moment our lanterns were out, the giant spider emerged from its hiding place between the trees, towering over us hobbits. But before we could run, 3 elves appeared out of nowhere, singing their enchanting songs, and casting the spider back into the shadows. Saying a thank you and a farewell to the elves, the hobbits ventured back down into the night market.
Absolutely. How's it work for you, my lady? You have more, of course. I do have more.
All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, if he wouldn't have knocked mine.
We spent day 3 relaxing and enjoying the little moments. We started the day with no real plans and just ventured around the festival, visiting the vendors and attending a talent show.
With the goodies that I got from the night market, I was also given so many things by you guys and the fellow hobbits that I met this LARP. One of the hobbits I met at this LARP was named Rebecca, and she gave me probably my most prized possession I have from this LARP, and it's this amazing flower crown that she had in her collection. And she said that this flower crown was one of the oldest flower crowns that she had in her collection, and she was called to give it to me, which is crazy because Lily of the Valley is my favorite flower. Rebecca owns a fantasy little eatery in Columbus, Georgia called Wisteria Cafe. I'm gonna link their stuff below so you can go check them out, support a small business. We connected through fantasy, our love for hobbits, and of course, I'm from Georgia, so we also connected that way. Rebecca, if you see this, you truly made my day by gifting me this amazing flower crown, and I'm very excited to have it in my own collection now, so thank you so much. Along with this flower crown, I got so many trinkets. I'm gonna do a trinket speed run. So I have 2 little bags full of trinkets, and I'm just gonna pull them out and show you guys. We got a button. Eden Underbrow gave me this amazing little mushroom. It is 7 out of 13, and this is their username if you wanna go find them. Some Hobbit was passing around jewelry with their snake skin in the jewelry. So this is their actual snake skin in the jewelry, which I thought was really, really cool. Me a sticker with an H on it for honey. Friend Nick gave me this cool little mushroom, dried mushroom. Someone at the LARP knew that I really like teeth, so they gave me a little plastic enamel tooth little guy. I got so many of these like cool little clay trinkets that I can put on necklaces. Reggie Declare also made some of these, which are my favorite out of my trinkets, I think. They're really cool. It's like shield and dragon one. I'm gonna have to make necklaces out of these, they're really cool. Someone was passing around small little books, so I got a tiny little book. Which one did I get? The Horse and His Boy. Very, very cute. I received a Dwarven coin, which is really neat. I love the shape of it. I wish our currency was this cool. So many buttons, so many buttons. I made this cute little felt acorn, cute little banner. I follow them on Instagram and I cannot remember their username, but if you made this, you are amazing, and this is one of my favorite trinkets from this LARP. It's this cute little banner that you can wear on your vest, and I love the little jingle on it. Keychain, cute keychain. There were so many people passing out teas. This one actually is a perfume. It smells really good still. I got a beeswax seal for honey. The in-game coin was also really cool. I kept some of the in-game coin. What's really cool about the in-game coin was there was a few ways to get it. There was 2 hobbits going around each morning, and if you recycled enough, then they gave you in-game coin for your recycling. So, doing good in the world and you get money.
The rest of the evening was an absolute party. There was fine entertainment and a large dinner that players could attend. The elves we had met earlier also graced us with their surprise appearance. Even they couldn't resist a good party.
The second Brandywine Festival is coming to America this October 1st to the 4th, and I know there's 300 tickets left, so you better snag them quickly because I want to see you there. What are my final thoughts? This event is for everyone. The event was so accommodating. The food was awesome. There's vegan and vegetarian selections, meat lover selections, potatoes. You can't forget a potato at this event. The dancing and the music was amazing. The tavern had free beer and cider every single night. You heard that right? Every single night. It was awesome. Camping was really fun. Every tent was fully decorated. So many people brought in like huge sets and elaborate sets outside their tents, and it was so fun to walk around in the game camp and see everything. You never went hungry at this event. Everyone was always asking you if you wanted some bread, if you wanted their stew. You were never hungry and you were never lonely. This event was one of those events where it was very easy to make friends and you always had someone to hang out with, no matter what you were doing. So like I said earlier, if you want to attend one of these awesome events, there's one happening in the UK this September and the next one's happening in America in October. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make the one in the UK this year, but I'm definitely going to the one in October here in America, and I hope to see you there. Bye guys.